like clockwork, we have a Paul Pelosi story just taking over the news cycle. And it's, of course, a victim card being played. Look at me, I'm attacked, please help. MAGA Republicans are extremists and the right wing is violent and dangerous. It's the same sob story that we hear all the time. All the time. It's a tactic that has been used over and over and over. And as we can see, it's still being used today. Right on time and right before the midterm elections. Fantastic. This is just branded everywhere on every news station. And of course, there's different things coming out here and different things coming out there on both sides. What people should probably be paying attention to is what the labels are. For an example, the mainstream media always labels things specifically. So they're already saying that this guy, David DePape, is a right-wing extremist, a MAGA Trump supporter, a conspiracy theorist, a QAnon misinformation spreader, whatever the hell they label these people as. This is a non-stop tactic, always. See, once they can tack a label onto you, then people will automatically think one way. This is the same tactic that people like Hitler used with propaganda. It's all propaganda. And the more that people actually watch the news and call it news instead of what it really is, which is just propaganda. And in today's day and age, it's leftist propaganda. That's all that runs the media. If you can understand that, you can understand why this story is being covered the way that it is. So there's so much information that's out there, and can I say I definitively know what happened? No, I don't. I can only go off of what the information that is presented can tell me. But I will tell you this. You look into the Pelosis, you look into the people surrounding the Pelosis. I mean, we could just talk about the Democrat Party as a whole right now. I mean, it's Democrat after Democrat after Democrat after Democrat after Democrat is always involved in some sex deviancy, either with children or with young adults, whatever. Or there's a lot of Democrats that are always coming out as homosexuals or lesbians or something of the degree. The homosexual agenda is just so pushed into the Democrat Party as a whole that you start to think that all of them just technically are either behind the scenes homosexuals or out in the open homosexuals. We can see this with Joe Biden's cabinet, the people that he has put in place in certain positions. It's just ridiculous from what we can see. But not just that. I mean, the fact that they champion this so much, it just tells me that you are involved in this to some degree. So we have this report basically of Paul Pelosi being in his underwear, him knowing the assailant, and also just not knowing the assailant. There's apparently another report that there was a third person involved who opened the door for the police, and then the other two were there and there was some other stuff involved, basically. If we just want to go off of what we hear there, can we relate that back to some things that we know? Absolutely. I would not put it past anybody or anything that Paul Pelosi is a closeted homosexual who, you know, dabbles in that lifestyle. But can we look at why the media would cover that? Why would the media hide the fact that someone of the Pelosi stature is a homosexual? Well, look at the family ties of the Pelosis. So when you look at Nancy Pelosi, particularly, Nancy Pelosi is literally part of a criminal family. Her father, Thomas D'Alessandro Jr., was Baltimore mayor, in the 1950s. And he had very, very close ties to the mafia at that time in that city. And as we all should know and understand, that organized crime can't operate unless there is political corruption. So Nancy Pelosi has been tied to this through her family. So as we can see, when we go back and shift a little bit to Paul Pelosi's DUI arrest and what happened around there. Now, if people don't know, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, who we definitely need to get the fucking rid of, there are reports, of course, that will try and debunk the fact that he intervened and got all the charges dropped against Paul Pelosi. But as we know, the media lies. So they lied about that and said that, no, he didn't do that. But in reality, he did, and there's proof of that right here. Paul Pelosi was using his privilege of who he was, his stature, his name, who he's affiliated with, to basically have a get-out-of-jail-free card. So when you're looking at all these things kind of piling up, you just kind of go, okay, this is why the media would side with him. This is why the media would cover up certain information or stories. This is why the media would be on his side and just have a little soft blow here and there. There's a reason why the media would do what they do, and it's because they do not want certain information getting out to the public. How would that look for the Pelosis, right? It would look terrible, but they already look terrible. People already don't like them. So in my opinion, from what I see, this is all just a political stunt in the sense of, don't vote for them, vote for us because they're violent, they attack, I'm a victim, and In reality, this was something else probably that didn't go the way that the media is making it seem that it went. And on top of that, it's a cover-up. It's a cover-up and a spin to turn it into something else that it really wasn't. All you have to do is really just look at the information. Look at information. The information is always going to be there. I mean, of course, when you're dealing with platforms like Google, YouTube, so on and so forth, a lot of this stuff is going to be hard to find because it gets covered up. But you just have to ask yourself sometimes, is there a possibility of this? From all the information and evidence that is gathered, is there a possibility of all this? Well, look into the Pelosi's family. Look into Nancy's family. Look into Gavin Newsom's family. Look into all the Democrat Party as a whole, and you can see how everyone is so connected. Everyone is covering for each other. This is the reason why you won't see out in the open, point blank and blatantly, the evidence of corruption or the evidence of wrongdoing, because it's like honor among thieves, really.